WXII 12 News at 6 starts right now.
Special memories locked up when a photography studio suddenly shuts down. Tonight in 12 investigates what to do if you've paid but can't get your pictures.
You know, we are citizens of Greensboro, but we're also citizens of the world.
A Triad mayor's mission takes her to the other side of the world. The plan and promise to honor 5 children killed in a fire.
And a child from North Carolina dies from the flu. What other virus doctors say could hit children especially hard this season?
First at 6 in 12 investigates, a Charlotte-based photography studio with ties to the Triad suddenly shuts down, leaving customers scrambling to pick up pictures before it's too late.
Portrait Innovations closed locations all across the country. Leanne Dinier's been looking into this for us all day.
She's live at the location in Winston-Salem that's locked up tonight. Leanne.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it was a similar scene over in Greensboro. We were there this afternoon and we watched as they were packing things up. We did catch up with a few customers who said that they were grateful that they got there in time, and while they're disappointed that the company is closing, they're just grateful that they got their hands on their pictures, those memories that can't be recreated. Diane Watkins.
But these are 3 great-granddaughters and we're very proud of them.
Has the perfect spot in mind for where this portrait will hang.
And we were very fortunate to get this.
The girls took the photo at the Greensboro Portrait Innovations Photography Studio, and it appears they'll be some of the last to get pictures done there.
It's our understanding that the business did close after the first of the year.
Portrait Innovations is no more.
They just called me and said that they were going to close down and that I needed to come pick up this portrait before I guess this is their last day.
We caught up with customer Tika Arnold as she scrambled to pick up hers.
She told me just, get here before 5, so I'm glad I was able to get it because that's a special memory to me.
It's her son's graduation picture.
I was a little shocked because I didn't know they was closing down, but, so I'm just glad I was able to get my picture.
While these situations are pretty rare, the Better Business Bureau says it's a reminder of why it's so important to keep all your paperwork when you pay for something up front.
If somebody has paid for something and it appears at this point that they're not going to get what they paid for, they should definitely contact their credit card company if they've paid for that with their credit card and dispute the charges. We also recommend that they go ahead and file with the Attorney General's office and let the AG know what's going on because they can investigate.
It's unclear what will happen next, but for customers lucky enough to bring their pictures home.
This I'm taking out to have framed to go on the wall.
So our local Better Business Bureau says that no formal complaints have come in just yet, but they are keeping an eye on the situation. If you've tried to pick up photos perhaps tonight, or we're hoping to tomorrow, we want to hear from you. So if you want to send me an email at ldenier@hearst.com, we'd like to hear about your experience. Reporting in Winston-Salem, Leanne Denier, WXII News 12.
Breaking news, the House just passed a new war powers resolution to limit the president's military action against Iran.
This is a live look at the House floor. Representatives just finished voting, and the final votes are still being tallied, but NBC News is reporting the resolution did pass. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she wants to send a clear message to the president to keep from taking any future action against Iran without first getting approval from Congress. Tensions are still high between the U.S. and Iran. Last week, the president ordered an airstrike that killed an Iranian military commander. Again, the vote limiting the president's military powers just passed in the House. The Senate could vote on a similar resolution as early as tonight. Intelligence teams from the U.S. and Canada say there's new evidence suggesting an Iranian missile shot down a Ukrainian plane by mistake. All 176 people on board were killed. The plane crashed hours after Iranian troops targeted U.S. forces in Iraq. An initial Iranian report blamed the crash on a sudden emergency.
Happening now, people are gathering at a Winston-Salem church with one goal in mind. The prayer for peace is being held at St. Anne's Episcopal Church on Fairlawn Drive there. Organizers say people of all religions are invited to attend. It started just a few minutes ago. Well, tonight on NBC Nightly News, all the headlines from Washington, including a closer look at the evidence suggesting that a missile took down a Ukrainian plane, and a breakdown of the push from the House for the War Powers resolution that we just mentioned just passed. We'll have an update on that in NBC Nightly News at 6:30.
The child is one of 9 people who died from the flu last week in North Carolina. The child was between 5 and 17 years old and lived in the western part of the state. North Carolina is one of several states seeing high flu activity. 21 people have died from the flu in our state so far this season. And local doctors say they're busy giving flu tests. They diagnosed several cases in just the last few weeks and say the number is beginning to skyrocket.
We've seen what may have been a peak for flu this year, but you have to be a little bit careful because we always see a little bit of a downtrend right around and after Christmas because people aren't in school or not in work. So we'll have to wait and see. Too early to know.
You've heard doctors saying it for months. The best way to protect yourself is to get the flu shot, and it's still not too late. Flu season typically lasts through April or May. Another virus is spreading and children are the most at risk. Doctors are seeing more cases of RSV, which is respiratory virus. The CDC says the virus is especially serious in babies and older adults. Doctors say they are seeing more cases this year with severe complications. Symptoms are similar to the cold or the flu: congestion, decreased appetite, and fever. But doctors say people who have RSV have trouble breathing. The best way to keep the virus from spreading is avoiding large crowds, washing your hands, and staying at home when you're sick.
A laundromat goes up in flames in Guilford County and people fear someone might be trapped inside. Firefighters searched the building near Archdale and Trindale Roads today, but thankfully didn't find anyone inside. A viewer recorded the moments that thick black smoke covered the entire building, as you can see here. Investigators are still trying to determine exactly what caused the fire.
Well, it has been nearly 2 years since 5 children died in an apartment fire in Greensboro. That fire started in the kitchen.
The children and their parents were refugees from Uganda. They came to Greensboro hoping for a fresh start.
Tonight in 12 Inspires, Kirsten Gutierrez shares how Greensboro's mayor is honoring those children's lives with a trip and with a promise.
May 12, 2018, it's a day Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn and many others will never forget.
This was a great place to be and where they looked forward to raising their children. And then with everything that has happened to them in their lives, there was that awful fire and they lost those children.
A refugee couple relocated from Uganda lost all 5 of their children in an apartment fire on Summit Avenue that day.
I met Magambo and his wife Faraha shortly after the fire at Cone Summit.
The couple, who has endured more pain than most, turned their tragic loss into a mission to help others at the refugee camp they once called home. They are starting the Hope Roy Refugee Education Program after their oldest child, who was 8.
Hope Roy, she really loved going to school, and she knew how important education was even at her very young age. And you know, we heard the story about her saving her nickels and dimes for her friends over in the camp so that she'd be able to help them go to these smaller schools. So that is why it became so important to their family in a way that they could remember and honor the children.
The family invited the mayor to see what it's like in Uganda, so she spent more than a week there learning and observing.
The classrooms in the refugee camp have between 200 and 300 children in them, and it's very hard for everybody to study.
The goal of the new program is to get people to sponsor children in the camp and to help them prepare for if and when they're relocated. It also helped the mayor understand just how difficult it must be to move to a country with little knowledge of what to expect.
It's really important that when North Carolina or Greensboro is their home, that we make sure that we can give them the best we have to offer, that they have safe, affordable housing, that they are able to get a job.
Through this trip, Vaughn plans to help get this program off the ground and be better equipped to help those relocating settle in.
You know, we are citizens of Greensboro, but we're also citizens of the world.
In Greensboro, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXI 12 News.
While the Hope Roy refugee education program is still in the beginning stages, Greensboro firefighters said they want to be the first to help out. They've already made a donation to sponsor 2 children at the refugee camp in Uganda.
A driver is accused of crossing the center line and hitting a school bus in Guilford County. That bus was from a private school named First Student. And troopers responded to Highway 62 near Coltrane Mills Road in Climax this morning. They say Jessica Culler hit the bus, knocking it off the road and right into a ditch. Paramedics took 3 students, a bus monitor, and Culler to the hospital for minor injuries. Culler is now charged with driving left of center. An old school building is coming down. Crews demolished the old Paisley Middle School in Winston-Salem. District staff took a bunch of items out of the building that could still be used, and they also invited the Alumni Association to come on by to take any pieces that they wanted. The area will be used for more parking and playgrounds. A new building opened in the fall. Paisley and Lowrance now share one building not too far from the old one.